One of the worst things you could do as a NASCAR Cup Series driver is manipulate the outcome of a race for your own benefit. It is something that's been frowned upon, penalized, and disliked for many years and decades. In this video, we're going to be looking at some of the worst times a driver has manipulated the outcome of a race for their own benefit, and it backfired. Bubba Wallace actually admitted he spun out on purpose to bring out a caution to benefit himself. Driving down the apron in turn 1 and 2 at Texas, Bubba Wallace swerved left and right to spin his car on purpose to bring out a caution to help him. He admitted in his post-race interview that he spun out on purpose, just as Joey and Brad do.
And Bubba Wallace with some problems, Rick.
Bubba Wallace now trying to, well, it looked like he was trying to get on the apron, but it looks as though he's going to spin it out. That'll bring the caution out. So Bubba Wallace couldn't spin out and then did spin out. And the 11th caution has come out today.
See right here, the 43 has an issue. I think the left rear tire is flat, the best I can tell.
Yeah, I think he's trying to spin it out. It looked like.
You did what again?
I learned from Brad and Joey.
So are you worried about anything or?
Like what? Until they do anything, no. I'm not the only one to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm racing for myself, not for Larson, not for Chevrolet. At that moment, for myself, I'm going multiple laps down.
Okay.
Carson Hocevar is a driver that is very controversial nowadays in NASCAR. Even when he was in the Truck Series, he would intentionally spin his truck out to bring out a caution for his own benefit. This never worked out for Carson Hocevar, as he was frowned upon by many fans in the industry. Cole Custer was penalized and docked points after letting his teammate Chase Briscoe by at the Charlotte Roval race in 2022. This would ultimately start the downfall of Stewart-Haas Racing, as they would lose Cole Custer's crew chief as he was indefinitely suspended by NASCAR, and they were fined over $100,000.
So you may have a flat right front there. The nose definitely looked low on the right front.
He's able to, I thought he was going to get it to pit road, spins it out, and likely we'll see a caution here.
That's pretty slick on that apron.
Nothing.
Here's another prime example of what not to do. Jeb Burton had a tire going down that was flat, and he tried to pit. He ended up missing pit road and just spun the car out to bring out a caution to ultimately help him in his situation. What about when NASCAR manipulates their own races? Well, during the 2021 New Hampshire race, darkness was looming, and with no lights on the track, NASCAR had to end up calling the race early. Understandable. But what they did was they just said at a random spot, oh, 10 laps to go. They never said on what lap they would announce that the race would be 10 laps to go. They just randomly threw it. So if that isn't their own race manipulation, I don't know what is.
Back in the air. The 4 not going. They wreck behind him. The green flag is out as they cross the start-finish line. Will they throw the caution? Trying to get back up to speed. Caution comes out. Now the question is, who was in front?
Stay in front of them. Stay in front of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's going to be an accusation is all it's going to be. Kevin Harvick's the only one who knows exactly what happened. He knows his race car won't go, so he had tried to go. This was the first one here. So he gets up to the right, out of the way, lets everybody go because his car will not come up to speed. It won't run any faster than what they're going under caution. But he did move to the right on that first one, Kyle, and got out of the way. They still wrecked in front of him, so that wasn't any problem with that about what Kevin was doing there.
Yeah, this is the first one, and like you say, he moved out of the way. Now here he is on the second one, and he stays in line farther down the racetrack, and we see the 6 of Trevor Bayne, and right here is where the controversy comes in. Is Kevin trying to get out of the way? Does he not know that the 6 car is there? I don't know. He crosses the line. I think Kevin crosses the line going up the racetrack. We heard the entire Gibbs organization almost when we interviewed him say that was done on purpose because he couldn't afford to lose any spots to make this chase.
When you think race manipulation, if this moment and instance doesn't come to your mind, I have no idea why. Kevin Harvick intentionally crashed over half the field at Talladega with a blown engine. Kevin Harvick had a blown engine and was going to lose multiple spots and knock him out of the playoffs. He intentionally crashed Trevor Bayne, ultimately bringing out the caution, ending the race, helping him advance the round of 8 in the playoffs in 2015.
Kyle Busch here. Ooh, close. Wide into turn 4. That moves Kyle Busch all the way up the racetrack. He has to catch it, floating into the wall. And Hornaday catches the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Caution is going to come out. Both drivers trying to get by. Looked like the 17 of Timothy Peters. They slid up the racetrack, and now Kyle Busch not happy at all.
It's all good, dude.
And Kyle Busch is going to turn the 33 into the wall. Our championship contender Hornaday in the wall.
Well, Kyle Busch should be parked for this race and maybe the rest of the season for that. Holy cow, I can't believe he did
Championship
that.
contender Ron Hornaday hard into the wall. Kyle Busch sends him in.
You all right?
You know, we saw him playing games like that at Martinsville, but we're running over 180 miles an hour here.
Window net down on the 33 of Hornaday.
We're going to get into some intentional crashes here. Under caution, Kyle Busch crashes championship contender Ron Hornaday, ending his shot at a championship because he got run into by Ron Hornaday off of turn number 2 by a lapped car at Texas Motor Speedway.
Outside, but he's going to be offline. No, it did. Oh, Briscoe's in the grass. Now it's a battle for the lead with Hamlin and Allmendinger. Briscoe will come back onto the grass.
It's all clear now, though. He leads them into 7. Briscoe right on his tail. We'll have to see how NASCAR.
Stop and go. 14 has a
Stop and go for the 14 car. He is not racing for the win. Oh, he's going to spin Denny. Denny is spun out. The 14 car spun Denny Hamlin out into turn 10.
Chase Briscoe was run off course by Denny Hamlin during the Indianapolis road course race. He then goes and intentionally spins out Denny Hamlin, ending up getting a black flag penalty and then a disqualification.
And Denny's not giving him any room at all.
I'm going to tell you what, this is a show.
No, there's only one solution to this. Park them both.
What are you going to do about Chase?
But look at the enjoyment we're getting.
Yeah.
Tell you, man, nothing behind you guys here.
Oh!
Out there on you tight, really tight.
Oh! It was a show.
He run down the racetrack and fans are both. I'm telling you, the one is still having trouble.
Hey, now, Chase, remember,
Hamlin.
The one, if he is considered to have been damaged in that crash, he has 3 laps.
The inaugural NASCAR race at Gateway saw Denny Hamlin get wrecked by Ross Chastain. Denny Hamlin was extremely upset with Ross Chastain, and he did some race manipulation of his own. He didn't even touch Ross Chastain. But what he did was quite hilarious. Denny Hamlin held up Ross Chastain for multiple laps and did not let him pass. It was hilarious to watch, but it was race manipulation. During the 2013 Richmond race, the final race to make the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup, Clint Bowyer spun on purpose and intentionally brought out a caution to help his teammate Martin Truex Jr. gain more spots to eventually make the chase. Other teammate Brian Vickers was also called down pit road to surrender his spot for more points for Martin Truex. Ultimately, huge fines were handed out to the team, which was ultimately their demise and the eventual shutdown of Michael Waltrip Racing. Joey Logano also needed 1 point to make the chase. He needed to pass somebody. Well, his team told David Gilliland's team if they would give up their position, they would get a huge sum of money. And David Gilliland did just that. This was definitely race manipulation, and NASCAR did not hand out any fines or point deductions to either team. This was definitely getting away with cheating.
22 could really use the spot we got, bud. Dave, we're going to have to let this 22 go. He's about a half a straightaway back. He's the only position we can lose. There's 8 to go. He's about a half a straightaway back. It better pay big. It's not the spotter. It's the whole committee. Committee knows what I've been asking for. 2 back off of you in your lane. Inside 22. He's struggling bad here.
While racing hard for the lead, Kyle Larson walls his teammate Chase Elliott, ultimately causing Chase Elliott massive damage to his car. Chase Elliott then limps around the racetrack begging for a caution. He then intentionally spins his car out to bring out a caution so he's able to pit and repair his damage. You can see his hands as they go left, right in the onboard.
Watch on TV, you could say, well, he turned extra to the right. However, when you're in a race car, if you truly don't know he's there, you're going to start going toward the wall to get your arc into the corner. He already got the side draft off the inside car. He got his momentum, got that guy's momentum slowed down. You're going to break off him after you get that momentum and enter the corner. So only they really know what happened.
70 laps to the finish. He continues.
There he goes. There he goes.
He spins around.
And Casey Mears gets caught up.
Is out
With Stanley Barrett.
I believe he's going to stay on the lead lap. He will, because remember, the field is frozen. The field is frozen.
And the leader is instructed, when you see the caution, slow down to pace lap speed.
Purpose before.
Hi. He brought the caution that he needed, and it worked out just perfect. And Jeff Gordon will get the pardon. He'll be back on the lead lap here with about 60 to 70 laps to go.
Oh, yeah.
See him go off into turn 1 and 2. Thing just comes around with him.
Yeah.
Luckily, he don't hit anything. No one hits him. In fact, almost a big mess back there with Casey Mears in the 41 and Stanton Barrett.
But, you know, he was falling back. I think he was looking for the end of the line so he could get to pit road. And fortunately, there were not that many good cars behind him.
Joey Chitwood would be proud.
This one was also admitted pretty recently. Dale Jr. said on his podcast, Dale Jr. spins out on purpose to be able to keep the lucky dog position and get his lap back. This happened at Bristol in 2004, and apparently he got a phone call from NASCAR president Mike Helton.
They're going behind the wall. You heard on the radiator, or on the radio, is it the radiator or the oil cooler? So there must be a leak of some sort. You see the nose crushed in right here. I think it happened coming to pit road, didn't it, Jeff?
Mechanical, pull it over here behind the wall.
Yeah, it almost had to. I saw everybody bottled up on pit road. You see the safety trucks on pit road.
Yeah, the ambulance stops right at the commitment line.
That's just a miscommunication. I don't know if NASCAR told them to roll, or if they rolled by themselves and pit road was open. Normally pit road would not be open with the rescue squad there, but you can see right here they have no idea he's supposed to be, that he's going to be there. He's not supposed to be there. He shouldn't be there.
I've been a NASCAR fan for about 18 years. Never in my life have I seen an ambulance affect the outcome of a race. But in 2017, it sure did. It actually affected potentially the playoffs almost. Kenseth gets damaged as everybody jams up entering pit road because of an ambulance parked on the entrance of pit road during caution flag pit stops. Never in my life have I seen that, and I probably won't ever see that again. If this isn't race manipulation by an ambulance, I don't know what would be. During the 2015 chase for the Cup, Matt Kenseth was wrecked at Kansas by Joey Logano for the win with just a handful of laps to go. Kenseth was extremely upset in his post-race interview, and Logano had no remorse for him. A couple races later, Joey Logano had the dominant car at Martinsville. Matt Kenseth was already taken out in a previous crash by Joey Logano's teammate. This infuriated Kenseth so much, he got back out on the racetrack, took his anger out, and got some payback on Joey Logano. One of the biggest feuds in 2021 was when Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott got into it on pit road after the Bristol night race. Elliott and Harvick made contact during the race, cutting Elliott's tire down. Elliott was extremely upset with Harvick and then went back out on the racetrack multiple laps down and held him up so teammate Kyle Larson could win the race. That is extreme race manipulation. After that race, Elliott was handed down 0 penalties and fines after manipulating the race, affecting the outcome.
Harvick, of course, not happy with Chase Elliott, so let's start there. What was the conversation between you and Chase after the race?
I just told him, it was kind of a chicken shit move that he did there at the end. We're racing for the freaking win at Bristol. We're 3 wide in the middle, and he throws a temper tantrum like I was just trying to get the lead and racing hard. Then he pulls up in front of me and just sits there until I lose the whole lead. So, just hate it for our Subway Ford Mustang team. To be able to lose a race like that. I watched him let the 24 go by, and then anytime you run into him, it's a problem. So they can boo all they want. I don't care.
How much of this is compounded by the fact that you were so close to winning and to have it slip away, but then also what happened when he went by you again?
Yeah, well, I lost so much there, and then when I got behind the car, I kept getting tied off the corner, and I couldn't run my line. So. God damn it. I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head off.
It's Bristol, baby.
Is going to have an opportunity to defend. Last week at these 2 corners, 3 and 4, he lost the lead and lost the chance. He lost sleep over it. Ryan Blaney's not losing anything here in Martinsville. He wins and is going to Phoenix. That was a determined, savvy drive. And look at that, right at the end, Christopher Bell drives his way in as well. He went for it, almost lost control, hits the wall, drives off the wall, sort of Ross Chastain-esque. There's going to be a lot of conversation in the NASCAR Tower about the entire finish of this race. Between all the cars racing for points, but what a drive by Blaney. We've got a decision. We've got a decision. Christopher Bell will not be going to Phoenix. Safety violation. Riding the wall. It's against the rules. William Byron has been confirmed as the 4th and final position.
The penultimate race in the 2024 season saw Christopher Bell do a controversial wall ride to get himself into the Final Four. Unfortunately for Christopher Bell, NASCAR would penalize him and have him be last of the lap-down cars. Bell would ultimately not make the Final Four because of this, and William Byron would advance onto the championship race, even though he had a controversy of his own of Team Chevrolet creating a roadblock and not letting anybody pass Byron.
For his involvement in this incident that got Jeremy Mayfield and Tony Stewart, 2 of the championship chasers, in trouble.
Well, this is just a payback, and we talked about, you know, we thought that was the situation last week at Richmond with Jimmy Spencer and Casey Mears, and they were going to park Spencer for a couple laps and then looked at the tapes and said no, but this is pretty obvious that this was a payback, and this is what needs to be done, and I commend NASCAR for it.
This time they looked at the tapes and said, we're going to penalize Robbie Gordon 2 laps for rough driving.
I definitely agree with NASCAR on this one. Robbie Gordon was penalized for 2 laps because he intentionally crashed Chase contender Greg Biffle during the first race of the inaugural Chase for the Cup. Robbie Gordon retaliated against Greg Biffle instead of trying to talk about it post-race. I understand completely where NASCAR is coming from. Just like Robbie Gordon during the 2006 Atlanta race when he threw foam out the window to get a caution late in the race.
So, top 10 finish for you. Great night for you. We were looking at some debris possibility coming out of your car, roll bar padding, anything like that going on?
Not that I'm aware of. You know, we had a good run tonight. We broke a diff late in the race and had a shot at probably better finish than 10th. So I'm pretty happy with the run we had tonight.
And we're looking for, okay, Rob, we're showing it now here just so you can get a look at it. Can you guys run it back one more time because we didn't have it right in here. There you go. I'm messing up his hauler here. Robbie, there's your car.
Does this say? What'd you see?
Back it up one more time, guys. We just get Robbie get a good look at this. Keep going. Keep going back. Back, 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 back. We just want you to take a look because we're trying to figure out. It may have been something you ran over as well.
Might have been something I run over because I definitely didn't throw anything out the window, so I don't know.
Okay, we appreciate it. Top 10 run for you tonight, though.
Now, let's roll it out and check it out. Looked like it came out from the back of the car, actually.